Hi, everybody. My name is Shannon, and welcome to another yarn. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my wonderful channel about yarn, knitting, crocheting, enjoying the finer things in life. Fiber related, of course. So, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, I really appreciate it. You guys have been so wonderful in helping me to make my channel grow and being able to be here and show you new things and fun things or things that I think are fun and exciting. And it's somebody I get to talk to and ramble about yarn things besides my husband, who's so patient and so wonderful, but I think he appreciates that I have another outlet. So today I'm going to be talking about Stash Dive Saturday. I haven't done that in a while. I don't know why. I have yarn. Let's do this. So for the people that are new here and haven't seen that, what I do is I go through and I look at some of the yarn in my stash and I'll pull out a couple of items and maybe try to match up some patterns and things along that line. And the whole goal is to fall in love with what we already have. Look at the things that we have, not necessarily run out and buy the new, latest, greatest, shiny, pretty yarn. That's fun too. But sometimes it's nice to just sit back and appreciate the wonderful things that we have. So, if you've been here for a while, you know I'm supposed to be making socks. My son called me out. I normally give out about 10 pair of socks every Christmas, and it's to the kids, the husband, their spouses, etc. So it turns out to be about 10 pair of socks, and I hadn't finished any, and it's August, and it is like, no, you have to make more. So in this, I just finished a pair of socks. I'll show those later in the week, but I mean, I just finished a pair. So of course, I'm looking through my yarn stash and going, well, what socks do I want to make next? Which yarn do I want to use? And let's see, where did I set it? Oh, right here. So I was looking at some yarn that I have not used to make socks with. It's an actual sock yarn. I mean, it has toes in the name, right? I mean, if you're going to call yourself Cozy Toes, then you're probably a sock yarn, right? So I got this at Hobby Lobby. They have clearanced out this particular yarn. It is a Yarn Bee yarn. I hope they bring it back. I love it. This is, let me read the specs on it because I like the squishy feel. I've used, if I've used less than 20 balls of these 50-gram balls, I would be surprised. And I have not yet made a single pair of socks with it. I love it for kids' clothes and baby garments. So each 50-gram ball is 210 yards. This is a number one weight. It is a fingering weight. And let's see, what's the composition? It's 93% acrylic, 7% polyester. It is easy care, machine washable, all that wonderful stuff. Oh, they actually say it's a number two weight. Even better. So I use this on kids' clothes, stretchy tops, and it works up wonderfully. It looks nice wash after wash. And look at these colors. So I got a bunch of the colors. Some of them I got them on sale. Some of them I paid the 30% off when Hobby Lobby would have the every other week. And a couple of them I actually paid full price for because they were gorgeous and I had to have them. But look at some of those colors. I mean, wow, those are cool. Okay, and look at this one. Oh my gosh, I've used this one. I know I've used this one. Look at the way that works up. Isn't that pretty? And then this, oh wow. I mean, they are gorgeous and they're so squishy and they're so soft. So I was wondering, maybe I could make socks with them. Most of my socks, I use the wool based. Majority of them are wool blend. I've made a couple cotton pair. I've not done the acrylic like this. Like I said, I've used at least 20 balls. And this one, I have a granddaughter that's about ready to turn a year. Isn't that gorgeous? A nice little shirt with this or a dress. Oh my. I mean, I could make socks, right? I do know how. Look at those colors. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you want to see how some of this works up, I do have a couple of samples. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? So this is what I mean by a very simple stretch. Look at this. Look how that stretches. Look at that. It grows with them. It stretches. It is so easy care. So I love it as the garment. Not sure on the socks. Other people have made socks with it. I've just not felt comfortable with it. Maybe I need to get over it and make my socks with this. But this yarn is gorgeous. And the colors, it works up beautifully, wash after wash. The kids can abuse it because, let's face it, kids this size, they don't take care of their things. They're messy. They're get food on everything, food, booger, snot, you name it. It's not nice. These always look great. So that's one. I do have another. So I have used this yarn quite a bit. And look at this. Look at the little button. The little button's removable. I haven't sewn it on yet, but it matches perfectly. These are what I call a grow with you top because they've got so much stretch. I've given like this one for my oldest granddaughter and grandson. They can both wear it. It's a unisex color. They can both wear it. It's a little bit bigger on the little guy, and it fits my granddaughter perfectly. So, I mean, they can switch them back and forth. I started making more unisex ones because my granddaughter wanted her little brother to wear hand knit things too. So I made things that were more feminine looking for her. So she was taking her tops and putting them on her little brother because she wanted him to be special too. So I started making some things that they could both do, mix and match, and it wouldn't matter. They would have fun with those. But isn't that spectacular? So thought this was a really good one to show off. If you have any of this in your stash that you might have gotten, like Hobby Lobby had this $1.24 when they were clearing, I can't see it, when they were clearancing it out, and they've cleared out colors of this particular brand for the last 2 years. So a lot of people have this in their stash and don't know what to do with it. Make garments with it. And then if you're worried because, hey, it's small size, I have to use ones and I have to use twos. No, you don't. I think I made these with fives. 4s or 5s for knitting. You can crochet with it too. It'll be just as gorgeous, squishy, soft, yummy fabric. So that's one option to do with that. I'm still on the fence about making socks with it. No, I'm not on the fence at all. I can't see it. I know other people have done it. I've seen it. I can't. I mean, your sock is going to be that size around, and look at that. I mean, that has so much. Is that going to hold up? I mean, it's great for garments, but is that going to hold up on your leg? Is that going to be uncomfortable? I would think that on the ball of your foot, it's just going to have too much stretch and too much give. I can't see it as a sock, but man, as a garment, it is stunning. So if you've made anything like that, let me know. If you have it in your stash, are you going to pull it out and start working with it? The colors are saturated and gorgeous, and it's so squishy. So in the process of looking for more sock yarn, I had some other yarn over there. It's not sock yarn, although you can make socks with it. I have seen colorwork socks with it. Look at this. This is Jamison's, if I say it right, double knitting wool. Okay, these are tiny little balls, right? Well, they're 50-gram balls, I believe. And it does say for this one, using a US size 5, 3.75 millimeter for knitting. It is hand washed because it is wool. Let me see. 100% pure Shetland wool. And this is a toothy wool. It's a rougher wool. It's not necessarily the buttery soft wool that you have against your skin. I like wool. I would still put it against my skin. Not everyone's comfortable with that toothier feel. This is definitely a toothier feel. So let's see, what else does it say on it besides the fact that it is gorgeous? So double knitting stands for DK, if you weren't sure of that. So that's, 3 plus. These are 25-gram balls of yarn, so they're not 50, so it's 25 grams and approximately 75 meters. Doesn't have the yardage, but yardage is more than meters, so 80 some odd, right? Something around there. I got this, and a stroke of luck, kind of, it matched the pattern I wanted to make it with. I actually bought a magazine years ago. We're going to admit it, it's years ago. Come, I'll show you the magazine. You're going to see the year on it, right? I got it when it was brand new. And I was so struck by the pattern on the front cover. It was mittens. And the local yarn store had this yarn in stock, and I got 3 of them because that's what the mittens called for. Why haven't I done them? This is a gorgeous color. We know I like green. It's beautiful. Look how that looks with my face and my skin. Isn't that pretty? Look at the mittens. Look at this. Vogue knitting, right? Aren't those stunning? Look at that. I mean, those are gorgeous. They have bobbles. We know I like bobbles. They have bobbles. It's bobbles and cables and green heather gorgeousness. Look at those. I mean, why have I not done that? And just stunning. Okay, so this is a fall of 2008 magazine. 2008. I have had this, and it stared at me. All 3 beautiful little balls. And the pattern. You can also get this on Ravelry. Not necessarily the whole magazine, but you can get the pattern itself if you want to make these. If you want to make them and send me your picture, maybe that will encourage me to do the same thing. But isn't that stunning? Why do we do this? You know why? Because it's so easy to collect, and it takes so much. You can go and in one fell swoop and get a sweater's quantity of yarn at a wherever you buy your yarn, and it can take you months to go through that. And then you can go next week if you have the finances, and you can do the same thing again, right? It's so easy to collect past your ability to work through it, especially if you get finer balls of yarn. 210 yards is a little tiny ball, right? That takes some time. It takes time. That's a tiny little ball. And it was $1.24, so I bought a bunch of them, right? So yeah, help me out. What is your long held gorgeous patterns and yarn that you have waiting to be worked with? And this is while I was looking for my next pair of socks. Does this look like socks? No. This is why I get caught on tangents, and this is why I start so many things, and this is why I'm like, squirrel, wait, whoa, where is it at? Where is it at? I want to go play. And this is why when I come in here, my husband's off doing his thing, right? He's got his craft, so I have mine. So when I come in here and I can sit for hours in one spot, and my mind and my brain has like traveled the world. I've made these mittens. I've made the scarves that are in here, right? I've matched this yarn with the yarn that I have, and I've matched it with other yarns, and I've thought about changing the yarns because we know I don't like to always use what it calls for, whether it's the color, the style, the whatever. And occasionally I have exactly what it's called for. That's not very often. So I'm doing that. I'm imagining, I'm creating in my head, and I haven't even moved a muscle. It's the craziest thing. It's like I'll come in here and it's daylight, and I'll walk out and it's dark, and I'm like, where did the time go? Sometimes I have progress on a project. Other times I just have more projects spinning in my brain. So I find that just so much fun. And this particular day of coming in and doing this and sharing these things with you is another memory. I mean, 2008, I got this at a yarn store in Colorado that is no longer open. It was called Stash. It was a wonderful, wonderful local yarn store. Bunch of people, we would always get together. We had knitting there. I was such a regular that I ended up working there part-time. I taught classes there. It was just such a wonderful, cherished memory. So pulling up this yarn brings up all the memories, and grabbing this book and just being so excited that I bought yarn that matched the pattern. That's a rarity. And yeah, coming through here, it's just, it is memory lane and friends. That's really what it is. I'm so glad I was able to share this. Maybe you don't understand what I'm talking about. Maybe you think I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe you don't do these types of things. You should. It's fun. It really is. But I enjoy it, and I really enjoy sharing that and telling you these stories and bringing you into my yarny goodness friendship group. Well, I've been talking about this for a while, and I see some yarn over there that I'm about ready to go play with and pull off the shelf and everything. So, yeah, I have another cube set like this right on the other side that you don't get to see. So I see some that I'm gonna go check on. You can see me eyeballing it. Yeah, this is why I don't get things done. I just play with things too much. All right, everybody, you have a great day. It has been so wonderful talking to you. Bye bye, everybody.